In a small Nigerian village, a woman named Adanna found her world shattered. Her husband, her rock, was gone. But her grief was cruelly interrupted by suspicion. Her husband's family, their eyes cold and accusing, pointed fingers at her, claiming she was responsible for his death. Her cries of innocence were lost in a storm of tradition and mistrust. To prove herself, she was forced to face an ancient, terrifying ritual, swearing her innocence before a deity. But before the ceremony, they sought to break her spirit. They took shears to her hair, her crown of glory, and shaved it all off, a mark of public shame. Adanna wept, her 3 small children clinging to her, their wails echoing her own heartbreak. Her tears weren't just for her lost husband, but for the dignity being stripped away from her in front of everyone. Her children, too young to understand the complexities of tradition, only knew their mother was in pain, and their world was falling apart. They led her, trembling but resolute, to the shrine. There stood the deity, a formidable statue with a mouth smeared in what looked like dried blood and white stripes painted across its head. It was a figure designed to inspire fear, to wring confessions from the guilty. With her children watching, their small faces streaked with tears, Adanna stood before this god. Looking it straight in the eyes, she raised her hand and spoke the words, her voice shaking but firm. "I did not kill my husband. I loved him. May the gods be my witness." The air was thick with tension. Seconds stretched into minutes. Nothing happened. No divine wrath struck her down. She had passed the test, but her relief was short-lived. A declaration of innocence was not enough for the family. They saw her not as a grieving widow, but as an obstacle. Citing customs, they seized everything: the home she had shared with her husband, the land he had farmed, every single possession they had built together. They left her with nothing but the clothes on her back and her 3 weeping children. Cast out and destitute, Adanna could have surrendered to despair. The world had dealt her the cruelest of hands. But as she looked at the faces of her children, she saw not just a reflection of her sorrow, but 3 reasons to fight. She would not let them become victims of this tragedy. She had to be their strength, their hope. Deep within her, a spark of defiance ignited. They had taken her husband, her home, and her hair, but they could not take her spirit.